Good morning, all you lovely people. Uh, Today is the 1st of June. I hope you are blowing cinnamon through your front doors, and I'm sorry I've got cats coming in and out at the moment, it's slightly distracting. Cinnamon through your front doors and focusing on the good things you want to bring into your life right now. It's also full moon in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, probably the kindest of the fire signs. So it's now a good time for you to think about the goals and intentions, the where you want to go. So this is a reading for all you wonderful women who want to align your life more fully to the path that you think you're called to walk. And Sagittarius is about goal setting and letting that arrow fly so you can hit the targets that you're aiming for. So now's a really good time to, you haven't got to do everything in the next 2 weeks, but now's a really good time to actually think, I want this and I don't want that. It's okay to push things away and focus on, sometimes it's easier to identify what you don't want than it is to figure out what you do want. So this is a reading for all the women who are seeking to align their lives more fully with the path they are called to walk. So you all, and if you're here, if you have shown up for this reading, something in here is for you. May not be everything, but there will be something in here for you. And oh wow, look at bottom of the deck, Ace of Fire. Isn't that fabulous? Aces are all about beginnings and possibilities. So, and the Ace of Fire on the full moon of Sagittarius, that's pretty good, I think. So we got two decks, as always. This one is Mystical Tarot, which I am really enjoying. Can be a bit of a drama queen, but very nice deck. So, oh, no, that one. Whoops. Oh, and on the bottom of this deck, we've got the Three of Wands, so lots of fire energy going on at the moment. So let's see what our reading is for this week. That's interesting. Okay, so we're starting off with two cards in Pentacles. So both decks have thrown up a card of Pentacles. This is the Knight and this is the Page, and they follow each other in tarot. The Page comes first and then the Knight. Pages are all about learning, curiosity, lots of energy, and Page of Pentacles is typically someone who's thinking about learning new things and what new can I add into my skill set. This is, Pentacles are the suit, is the suit that deals with resources, with how we earn our living, how we pay our bills. So here you've got curiosity, you've got energy, and here you've got the planner. Planner's incredibly important. Now if you look at this, you'll see that where he's standing in front of a fence, and where he's standing there's flowers growing everywhere, and the tree is just looking a bit bare, but he's looking across to the grass on the other side. The grass is not always greener, truly it isn't. I mean, this meadow is just stunning, but there's the curiosity about what's on the other side of the fence. Now is a good time for you to be curious about yourself and say, well, I'm doing this now and yeah, it's fine, it's great, but what else could I be doing? Where else could I be going? What are the opportunities open to me? And even if you don't see open opportunities right now, now's the time to be thinking about them. I was talking to a friend recently. We're both looking at doing some more learning around particular spiritual things, which is interesting. Right, this is the knight. The knight plans. The knight plans things really carefully. This is not someone who is just going to rush off into it like a typical fire sign. He's going to plan it out. This is the kind of guy you need if you're running something detailed. So, good start. What else have we got? We have got, oh, we've got more pentacles. This is awesome. Oh my God, can't make this up. Right, okay. So we've got the Four of Pentacles and we've got the Ten of Pentacles. The suits clearly think, the decks here clearly think, this is the time to be focusing on your resources, your work, the work that you do to earn your money, but also possibly the work that you want to be doing in the future. So, Four of Pentacles, let's start there. Four of Pentacles, you see he's holding these pentacles quite tightly. He's balancing one on his head. Where's the fourth one? Oh, he's standing on it. Right, he's standing on it. And there's a little rat off to one side. Isn't that great? So he's standing on one. He's balanced. He's not letting go of this. The Four of Pentacles. Four's all about structure, and if you box things in, it can prevent flow. So when it comes to resources, we're talking about time, energy, and money. This is someone who is really holding on to it and saying, no, I haven't got time for that. I haven't got energy for that. I haven't got the money for that. So this is someone who's really holding on tight and not letting go. Money doesn't like to be stuffed in a box and forgotten about. Money likes to have flow in and flow out. The trick is not to have more flowing out than you've got flowing in. The same is also true of energy. You know, it's kind of like, I'm too tired. I don't want to do any exercise because I'm too tired. But actually, if you do the right kind of exercise for you, you will have more energy and more stamina and more strength. So this is all about obstructing flow. And if you're in this mode at the moment, you are stopping yourself. You're being your own worst enemy here. Actually, you need to let more flow. The Ten of Pentacles, you know, we've got these 10 in a column, and we've got this lovely lawn, everything's blue sky, it's great. And we've got people sitting around and talking. This is family, this is friends. However you frame your family, this is your family. This is the people, this is your village who you're a part of. And this is all about building security, and it's about long term. 10 is about realization. So this is very much about getting a house in order, making sure that you've got enough money and resources for your own. You know, you're actually putting money in your pension, but you're actually putting money in your children's or grandchildren's savings account. It's about spending time with those people, because the money on its own is no good if they don't have a relationship with you. This is very much about the resources you put into that long-term financial and energetic commitment to the people you call your family. So we've got a ton of pentacles going on here. Right. Position 3. Oh, we've got the Ten of Pentacles again. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles twice. This says very clearly, the decks are saying, focus on the long term. This is not about what you want to do for the next 3 months, 6 months. This is about where do you want your life to be going over the next however long. So if you're seeking to align your life more fully with your path, then you need to be thinking long term. What's important to me further down the road? How do I want to spend my time and my energy? What does my ideal week look like? What does my ideal month or year look like? What do I want to do with my life? Do not work yourself to death and then look at and think, where's all the time gone? This is the time to think about. One of the things I do each year is I sit down beginning of the year and I make a list of all the people who are important to me, and I put them on the list so I can book time in with them. I have a friend who lives 6 minutes away. I'm seeing her this week. This is the first time I've seen her since last September. It takes time and planning because everybody's so busy, you know. And I have friends who live quite a long way away. If I do not plan to see them, then an entire year will go by without me spending time with them. And these people are important to me. So how do you want to spend your time? Do you want to spend it with people you care about? How are you going to make that happen? How are you going to find time to spend quality time to spend with your partner, your children, your sister, your mother, whoever it is? You actually need to show up and be present and be glad you spent that time with them. Arrange a spa day or, whatever. So what's important here? The cards are telling you to think because now is the time for planning. And we're almost halfway through the year. So this is the time to actually be planning out what you want to happen over the next 6 months, as well as keeping your eye on the long term. You've also got the Four of Wands. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So you've got two cards of structure. And you can see the structure. This is fire in this suit. See the structure around the couple. And through this wall, which is another form of structure, you've got a round window, and through that you can see this beautiful house. Four of Wands, Four of Fire, is all about the structures that you put in place for happiness, for happy ever after, for love, for enjoyment, for pleasure, for celebration. So a bit like me planning out which people I want to spend time with during the year and just working through month by month and making sure it happens. This is very much about how are you going to put structures in place to give yourself the opportunity to be happy on your own and with the people that you want to spend time with. So it's no good saying, oh, we must get together. You need to actually phone them up and say, right, this Saturday, barbecue at mine, and if it rains, we'll do it indoors. Really want to spend time with it. You've got to actually make that happen. Last position is, well, would you believe this? We have another card of Pentacles. This one is the Seven. And to go along with that, you have Major Arcana. So let's talk about the Seven. Got this lovely image of the woman in the garden, and it's kind of that time of year where everyone's going to the garden centre buying a ton of flowers and trying to cram them in somewhere. The thing about Seven is very much a card of pause. It's time to step back, take a breath, take a beat, and just allow things to be and to think about them a little bit. So if you've just planted a ton of flowers that you've got from the garden centre, the last thing you do is dig them up to see if their roots are growing, because they get really hacked off and they sulk and they die. So this is patience. The things that you have put into set in train, the things that you've started to make happen over the first half a year need time to actually come to fruition. You don't put a runner bean plant in on Saturday and start picking beans on Monday. It doesn't work like that. You have to be a bit patient. So you have to do the things, but once you've done the things, you need to be patient and wait for the outcomes. Oops. Along with that, you've got the Chariot. Now, the Chariot, if you look at this, in a lot of the tarot decks, right, so sometimes in tarot decks these are horses and sometimes they're sphinxes. These are sphinxes. And interestingly, in this deck, one is white, one is black. Sometimes it's horses who are different colours. But the critical thing about this one is they're looking at each other. A lot of tarot decks, the horses or the sphinxes are facing in opposite directions and they're both trying to go somewhere else. And yeah, a recipe for disaster. So they're actually looking at each other. They're talking to each other. They're sort of like, yeah, should we work together on this one? Shall we? Shall we work together? So this is quite a fun one, and I would expect there to be some challenges between these two. But you've got the Charioteer, and this is you. So you might be saying to yourself, well, I've got all my responsibilities, and I've got my job, and I'm doing all the sensible things, and I'm running myself ragged, and da-di-da-di-da. And then part of you is saying, but if you don't do this, that now, when is it going to happen? If you don't do this now, you will miss the boat. This is what you're called to do. Are you damn well going to get on and do it? So you've got the responsibilities, and this is the life I've built, and then you've got but I need to do this thing. Okay? So this is the Charioteer, and he is in charge of the Sphinxes, and he will ultimately decide which direction we're going. Sometimes the Charioteer, you see there's a city in the background, he's driving away from the city, and he's also driving towards something, but we don't know what the towards is. So sometimes you're called to, you're pushed away from something. If you get made redundant, that's a push. If you decide, you know what, I'm going to do this course, I'm going to retrain as I met a woman who retrained as a milliner. She got made redundant. She thought, you know, this is what I've always wanted to do. I'm going to make hats. That's a pull. So the push was the redundancy, and the pull was, I really want to do this thing. And I've got no idea if I'll make a living at it, but I really want to do it. So you've got push and pull. You've got responsibility versus desire. The secret is do the thing that makes you really happy. Right. And if you're living a life where you're doing all the responsible things and you're really miserable, you're not doing it right for you. Okay, so what's the story going on here? The story this week is all about work and resources, how we earn our living, how we spend our time, and how we spend our energy. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have 6 out of 8 cards that focus on resources, money, time, and energy. Okay, so the questions you need to ask yourself are, where is my time, energy, and money going? Is it going on the right things for me? Never mind anybody else at the moment. Just center yourself. Is it going in the right places for me? And if the answer is no, not really, then now is a massive call to sort that one out. You may find that you are called to actually say, you know what, there's this thing I've always wanted to learn more about. Well, damn well, get on with it. That's what this is about. Learn more about the thing. Do the course you want to do, or at least get a book out of the library. You know, you don't have to spend thousands of pounds on a course. Start somewhere. Find an online Facebook group. Find out more about the thing that you are curious about, because you're curious about something and you're wondering if the grass might be greener on the other side. This is not about relationships. This is about how you spend your time and your energy. Okay, so if you're in a job that you quite like now, and you've always wondered if you could get promotion, if you could become the thing, the next thing along, now is the time to start talking to people at work about it, reading up about it, talking to HR and saying, can I get any funding for a short course on how to be a project manager, or whatever it is. Now is the time to investigate that. Now is also the time to be thinking long term. You are partway through your life, and life is finite. I might be a bit further along than you are, but I'm always aware, you know, life comes to an end. There's a hard stop. How you spend your life, the rest of your life, is actually really important. And don't let anybody tell you age is only a number. It's a load of crap. Right, okay. When you reach a certain point, you've run out of energy and stamina and the will to live, okay? So this is about long term. How do you want your life to be? Do you want to spend it with the people you love, the people you care about? Do you want to have security in your in terms of being able to retire early, or pay off the mortgage, or go travelling around the world? What is it you want? Now is the time to be thinking about long term. This is a wake-up call for you to say, what do I want to do with the rest of the year, and what do I want to do now with the rest of my life? You may not have all the answers to that, but now is absolutely the time to think about it. You also then need to put that into plan. So if you say, you know what, I have wanted to go to Sardinia for the last 20 years and nobody will ever go with me. Now's the time to actually plan to go on your own. And if you can't go on your own because you're too much of a scaredy cat, and that's okay, then now is the time to say to a friend, you know, we went to Turkey last year because you wanted to go. Well, this year you're coming to Sardinia because I want to go, and don't argue about it. All right. So this is the, how do I fit the learning into my life? How do I fit the things into my life that are actually important to me? How do I rejig my life and say no to people because I need to call some of that energy back to myself? You can't do it if you're perpetually exhausted. So this is the planning stage. You need to think about what you want. You need to plan for it. You need to build in the time and energy to satisfy your curiosity about what could happen if you do certain things, about the learning that you're actually interested in. Having done all your planning, you need to bear in mind that holding on to everything too tightly will restrict your flow. Don't be too generous with your energy or your time or your resources, but don't be too tight with them either. All right, you need to spend some of your money, spend some of your time and energy to do the things that are important. And you need to build in time for relaxation and celebration and spending time with other people. This is important, that flow, put in place a structure that will allow you to plan to see the people you want to spend time with, to do the things you want to do. This is about structure and flow. You also need to draw a breath. So this is very much about put your plans into place, start doing the things, but also allow the things to start to happen. And this is more thinking. This is back of the head thinking. This is, where do I want to go? Do I want to go this way or that way? Can I get these two to agree? Am I running from or am I running to? Or is there a bit of both? Where do I, charioteer, want to go? This is long-term God, okay? This is not what's happening between now and Friday. This is what's happening between now and certainly the rest of the year, possibly the rest of your life. And then the bottom of the deck say, this is great, it's a new beginning. There's new energy, there's new possibilities, there's new awakenings. So take that wake-up call and use it to think everything through. And the Three of Wands, oh my goodness, 23 minutes, far too long, well, tough, it's done now. The Three of Wands, which is very much about bringing it all home to you, you know, setting things in motion and bringing it home. Right, okay. I was going to do some more cards for you, but, you know, stuff it. We'll just call it end because, you know, if you've got to this far, go get a cup of tea, you've earned it. And you'll be one of the very few. Okay, have a great week. Bye for now.